What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys had a fantastic day today. And today we have the September 2022 Great Plains International Airport update for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video. We have a loaded Great Plains update in store for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited. We have a ton of awesome movements going on in today's airport update. We have some aircraft changes, some different frequencies, some different cities, and all kinds of great things to go into detail about in today's airport update. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video. And without any further delay, let's get started. Beginning over here with the stunning Terminal D replica. This is where we'll start over here with Great Plains today, as you guys can see, we have a stunning lineup of aircraft, so let's dive into them. Alrighty, everybody, let's get started with today's airport update. Beginning right here at D11, you're going to find the Aviation Airbus A320. This guy's currently loading up with the non-stop service out to San Salvador today on the turnaround service. At D10, you're going to find the Aeromexico Connect Emirates AJ-190. This guy's currently loading up with a non-stop service today out to Cancun for him, and he came in earlier from Mexico City. The 737-800 is currently making the non-stop service for Aeromexico today out of D9. Service today out to Guadalajara. This guy came in earlier today from Mexico City as well. The Velars Airbus A321 is currently making the non-stop service today out to Guadalajara as well. This guy came in earlier today from, I'm going to do my best on the pronunciation. I think it's Trigen, it's something like that. It's south of San Diego, but yeah, Velars has a really good operation here. They've been doing very good, so I've been very proud to see their progress. I apologize. Currently loading up right here at D7 is the Via Aerobus Airbus A320 with fence tips. This guy's making the non-stop service in from Monterrey. It'll be heading back out to Mexico City as well. So tons of Mexico City flights, but lots of Mexico operations right there, as you guys could see. Currently getting towed over to the hard stand for a little couple-hour intermission while the international gates are super busy. We have the stunning KLM Royal Dutch Airlines Boeing 777-300ER. This guy's currently making a non-stop service in from Amsterdam Schiphol. He'll take a couple hours off and be heading back out there this evening. Excuse me, guys, I apologize. Currently loading up at D6, you have the Sunwing Boeing 737-800. This guy's currently making a non-stop service today in from Ottawa. There we go. That's what I was looking for. He's going to be heading out to Toronto following that. Currently getting ready to pull in the A5. You're going to find the Swoop 737-800 currently pulling off the active runway. This guy's making a non-stop service today in from, this was our Calgary flight. He's going to have a continuing flight out to Winnipeg, and he's actually going to be able to cut off over to 5. Usually you have to taxi all the way around, but they gave him the benefit of the doubt. So yeah, congratulations for landing early. The Westjet Boeing 737-700 houses gate D4. This guy's currently loading up with a non-stop service today out to Vancouver today. He came in earlier from Winnipeg. And into some Air Canada, we have their CRJ705. This guy's making a non-stop service today in from Vancouver as well. He's going to be continuing out to Montreal. The Airbus A220 here at D2 is currently making a non-stop flight today out to let's go with Toronto Pearson for him, and he came in earlier today from St. John's. And the retro Airbus A220 is currently making the non-stop turn out to Montreal and Canada, of course. The Air Canada Boeing 787-9 is currently loading up at D1, or 22, excuse me. That was D1, the Air Canada retro gate. This guy's currently making the non-stop service today in from Toronto Pearson on the turnaround, and he's just loading up for a couple more minutes, and he'll be heading back out there shortly. And the Air Canada Rouge Airbus A321 is currently loading up. This guy has a non-stop service in from Vancouver today. This guy will be continuing out to Montreal as well. Very nice. The Korean Boeing 787-9 is currently taxiing in after a non-stop service from Seoul. There are some 787s on this flight, but it's primarily the Boeing 777. So this guy is currently taxiing in from Seoul as well. Over here at the heavy hard stand pad gates, or whatever you would like me to call these, we have the house livery Boeing 777. This guy's actually going to be getting painted into the American Airlines livery soon. This guy flew a ferry flight, and he's going to be heading over to the One World hangar here in a little bit. The Lufthansa Airbus A340-300 is currently getting ready to head out to Munich today. On Saturdays, they do have the 340 on this service, but typically it's the 330. So that is what this guy is currently doing today. And then over here at the edge, you have the beautiful Qatar Airbus A350-900 in the One World livery. This guy's currently making the non-stop service in from Doha, of course, and he's going to be heading back out there. This is the second daily flight. The first daily flight we'll see here in just a moment. And lastly, over here on the ramp abnormally, you have the Westjet 737-600. This guy came in from Calgary about 3 hours ago, but unfortunately had some CFM56 troubles on the left main engine right there in front of you. So this guy's going to try to get some service and hopefully be heading back on his flight out to Edmonton here very soon if he is able to get those issues resolved at this time. Painting back over, sorry about the view, but currently right here at D21, you have the Tui Boeing 787-9. This guy is going to be making the service today out to Adelaide, I believe it was. It was that or Aberdeen. I think it was one of those two cities. I'm sorry that I'm forgetting the pronunciation, but it's one of those. It's something like that. So yeah, this guy's coming in from one of those. And then currently loading up for beginning with our Star Alliance lineup, you have the Turkish Boeing 787-9. This guy's currently making a non-stop flight today in from Istanbul. He's loading up on the turnaround and he's going to be heading back out there soon. Very glad to get to take a look at our internationals. I'm sorry I haven't talked that much. I've been just going through the flow because this is going to be a nice long update for you guys. So trying to make it not too tedious, I suppose, if you will. The Southwest Airlines 737-700 in the California 1 livery just made a non-stop service in from Las Vegas. He's going to be taxiing over to the Concourse C, as we'll go over to here in a minute. He'll have a continuing service today out to Austin, Texas. Just finished landing here on 15 right. You have the United Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 9. This guy made a non-stop service today in from Honolulu, which is a really cool route. He's going to have a continuing flight today out to Washington Dulles. The Air India Boeing 777-300ER is currently loading up with the non-stop service today. He came in from Stillwater, Oklahoma. He's going to have a continuing flight today up to New Delhi in India, of course. So really cool. The flight just goes to Stillwater and comes right back to Kansas City. So quite an interesting flight right there, but quite a cool one indeed. The Lufthansa Airbus A330-300 is currently pushing back with the non-stop service out to Frankfurt, Germany today. There is an A340 flight, but there is a second daily Frankfurt flight on Saturdays. This is that aircraft on the A330-300. Once again, service out to Frankfurt in Germany. Really nice Star Alliance lineup, to say the least, right there. That was really nice. SkyTeam partners in this frame, Delta Airlines Airbus A321 is currently making the non-stop service today out. This guy's coming in from Phoenix. We'll have a continuing flight today over to, let's go with San Antonio. There we go. The absolutely stunning Virgin Atlantic Airbus A340-600 made the non-stop service on the behalf of SkyTeam, of course, in from London Heathrow. This guy's going to be heading back out there here very shortly. So nice to see somebody representing London for SkyTeam. Here's that Qatar Airbus A350-1000 in the One World livery. This guy's currently getting the jet bridge attached. This guy's making a non-stop flight today in from Doha as well on the first daily service, and he's going to be heading back out there soon. The 359 actually heads over there to the hard stand. They have talked about potentially making that a full turnaround within a quick span, but I think Qatar is currently working on some aircraft at this time, so trying to give some rest to them when they can, like this example. Here we have the UPS Boeing 777-200 freighter. This guy's making a non-stop service today in from San Antonio as well. This guy's going to have a continuing flight today over on a longer flight service out to Phoenix. The Qantas Boeing 787-9 is making debut service out to Melbourne. Very excited to have this flight. The Airbus A380 is still flying the service to Sydney as well, but really cool to get the 787-9 service today. Once again, out to Melbourne. That is a 3-weekly service at this time. To Japan, Boeing 787-9 to finish out this long streak of aircraft is currently making the non-stop service in from Tokyo Narita. Daily service. Been proud to see Japan's efforts on that flight. That's been really nice. The Icelandair 757-200, of course, making the non-stop service today in from Reykjavik, Keflavik. It'll be heading back out there too. They've been doing a great job on that service thus far. I thought I was going to autofocus, but of course I'm going to have to do the honors of the stunning Emirates Airbus A380. This guy's currently making the non-stop service today out to Dubai in the United Emirates. The 777 just left and the A380 just got here, so perfect timing for that beautiful aircraft. And lastly, you have the British Airways Boeing 747-400 making the first daily service back up to London Heathrow. This did change from the A350. It kind of changes all the time, but 747's making the flight today. Very nice. The American Eagle Embraer EasyJet 145 is currently making the non-stop service for Envoy today. This guy's currently coming in from Stillwater, Oklahoma. He's going to have a continuing flight today out to, let's go with El Paso. Sorry about the backlight. I've just not been trying to end the clip as much as the previous update. The American Airlines Airbus A321neo is currently holding short of 15 right. This guy's going to blast off for Las Vegas today. He came in from Miami. And I'll get to the other side for some better lighting on the next portion. Alrighty, since we have a really nice view over here, we're going to do some of these aircraft from this perspective. So currently landing right now on 15 right, you have the American Airlines McDonnell MD-80. This guy's going to make a non-stop flight on the shuttle service from St. Louis. He's going to have a continuing flight today out to Austin. The United Express Emirates ERJ-175 is currently coming in from, this is excuse me, my bad. This guy's our New Orleans flight, and he's going to be heading out to, let's go with Birmingham for him. And this Envoy 175 in front of you is currently taxiing over to the terminal. This guy made a non-stop flight today. I will say this guy's coming in from Providence and will continue out to Syracuse, New York. Very nice. The 737 with the logo on the winglet is currently taxiing out for Charlotte today. This guy came in earlier from Tucson. Very nice mainline upgrade. The Embraer ERJ-145 is currently taxiing out with the service out to Springfield, Missouri. This guy came in earlier today from Garden City, Kansas. And the Primer 767-300 freighter is currently taxiing out with a non-stop service today out to Portland. This guy came in earlier today from Orlando. Very nice. And we'll come back to Terminal B, of course, but we have some more aircraft to swing into, so that is exactly what we'll do. Beginning right here with the Delta Airlines McDonnell MD-88. This guy is currently making the non-stop service in from Atlanta, Hartsfield, Jackson. We'll continue back out there. Very glad to have that in today's update. The American Airlines 737-800 in the flagship Freedom livery is coming in from Tulsa. I'll have a continuing flight today over to, Charleston. The Delta Airlines 737-900 is currently coming in from Atlanta. I'll have a continuing flight today out to Salt Lake City. The United Airbus A319 is currently getting ready to take off here, number 2 in line for departure at 15 left. This guy has a non-stop flight today out to Denver. This guy came in earlier today from, let's say this guy came in from, I'm thinking of it, I lost it. Sorry guys, Dallas-Fort Worth, there we go. The Aer Lingus Airbus A321neo is currently taxiing out for departure. This guy has a non-stop service today out to Dublin, Ireland, of course, on the one daily A321neo service. Hopefully to get it heavy sometime because that would be really nice. Very similarly to the absolutely stunning British Airways Airbus A380. This guy's currently making the non-stop service today in from London Heathrow, of course, and will be heading back out there. That is awesome to say the least, man. That is super cool to get to see that. Really, really nice job right there by BA. That is really nice. And that is that whole mat area. Now we have over to, sorry about the fan if it gets a little bit congested. But here we go with Terminal C. Of course, we have several great aircraft to take a look at in today's frame. Why don't we do it on this side since the light will probably change by one of the next updates. So I'll do it on this side to change it up. Southwest Airlines on their Boeing 737-800 currently has service today out to Phoenix after coming in from Amarillo in Texas. That's a really nice service right there for Southwest. They have been doing well. There has been some new services like this 737-700 with service out to Seattle. This guy came in from Orlando, and they've done really, really well, so I've been very proud to see Southwest's efforts. Speaking of efforts, this 737 MAX 8 is making a non-stop flight in from Honolulu and will continue today out to Los Angeles. Very impressive Honolulu service competing with United and Hawaiian, and I think American also has Honolulu too. Slightly adjusting the jet bridge for the 737-700. This guy came in from San Diego and will have a continuing flight today out to Sacramento. Lots of various routes for Southwest. Their 737-300 is looking stunning right here as this guy made a service today in from Fort Myers and will have a continuing flight today over to St. Louis. The Maryland 737-700 just made a non-stop flight today in from Washington Reagan National Airport. We'll have a continuing flight today out to Islip. Empty gate as currently there is no aircraft occupying that one at this time. I think this was left for the California one. I think there was another aircraft that took off previously, so there we go. The Desert 737-700 is currently loading up with a non-stop flight today out to Las Vegas. This guy came in earlier today from Wichita, Kansas. Another new flight going right after American and Delta. I think United also has it. The Arizona 737-300 is currently coming in from Phoenix Sky Harbor. This guy had a non-stop flight in from Pensacola. Very cool flight there for Southwest. That's really nice. The 737-800 is currently making a non-stop flight today in from Reno, Tahoe. And will continue out to Oakland. Oakland's one of the busiest routes for Southwest here. And then lastly, the 737-700 is currently loading up with a non-stop flight today out to Nashville. This guy came in earlier today from, Indianapolis. Alrighty, looking really nice. Into the low-cost carrier section that is not Southwest, the Breeze Embraer ERJ-195. I've definitely unboxed the model at this point, guys, so I'm sorry that pre-recording is not the funnest, but I promise the next, after the next Great Plains update, the November, December, January, all those will have all the new models. So sorry about the pre-recording, but I wanted to make sure I had content for you guys during the college semester. Nevertheless, this Breeze Airways Embraer ERJ-195 is currently making a service today in from Las Vegas. This guy, new route as well, very cool. This guy's going to continue out to Westchester in New York. The Sun Country 737-800 is currently coming in from Milwaukee, which is another new service. Kind of an interesting one for Sun Country, but I think they'll do okay with that. This guy will continue out to Orlando MCO, another new route, and I have a little bit more confidence there. The Legion Air Airbus A319 is currently loading up with the nonstop service out to St. Petersburg. This guy came in earlier today from, we'll say this guy came in from Newark. Empty common use gate, so I think the last aircraft there was an Allegiant, but currently no aircraft. Frontier's Airbus A321 Steve the Eagle is currently coming in from Las Vegas, which is another new flight, so note all the new Las Vegas services. This guy will have a continuing flight today out to Trenton in New Jersey. Here's the Airbus A320 Neo, Ed, Eddie, and Edwin the Penguins. This guy's currently making the nonstop service today in from Denver. We'll have a continuing flight today on the longer service to Savannah, new route, very nice. The JetBlue Airbus A320 is currently making the nonstop service today in from Fort Lauderdale. We'll have a continuing flight today out to San Del Cabo, very nice. And their Airbus A321 is currently making a nonstop flight in from New York John F. Kennedy and will continue out to Los Angeles. So very proud of those efforts there for JetBlue and the boys. The Spirit Airbus A321 is currently coming in from Fort Lauderdale. This guy will have a continuing flight today over to Atlantic City. And the Airbus A319 is currently loading up with service out to Orlando. This guy came in earlier today from Las Vegas. Another new Vegas service. How about that? And Hawaiian does have a new service to Kahului on their Airbus A330-200, which is very exciting to see. Very proud of Hawaiian. So this guy's doing the turnaround to Kahului. So Terminal C is looking really good. Keep in mind, built in 2015 along with Terminal D. So it's been really nice to see this, and I'll be eager to see if they expand it in the hopefully foreseeable future. I think that would be a really nice expansion for them. We'll have to see what happens. Next in line right here, going to find various, various private jets. The Phenom 300 with the purple stripe is currently making the nonstop service in from Las Vegas. This guy will continue out to Austin. The green one in the back right there is currently making the nonstop service from Houston Hobby. Will continue out to Miami has a GA airport. I'm forgetting the name of it, so I apologize. So pretend he's going there. The Challenger 300 is currently making the nonstop service today in from Dallas Edison Airport, and he's going to continue out to Van Nuys. And then lastly, the Lear 75 is currently making the nonstop service today in from Santa Barbara. A very long flight, but a very cool one. This guy will continue out to Oshkosh, Wisconsin. There we go. Likewise for the Breeze, guys, this JSX is the same story as their Emerald 135 is currently coming in from Destin Fort Walton Beach, serves up to Dallas Lafayette. Big credit to AHA right here with their Embraer ERJ-145. Love to see it for AHA. Great airline. Highly recommend. Would love to try them sometime. This guy's currently making the nonstop flight today in from Reno and heading back on turnaround. They have not expanded quite yet. And lastly, the Boutique PC-12 is currently making the nonstop service today in from Carlsbad. He's going to have a new service today. We're going to go with the new EAS service. This guy's currently making it out to, I think that a good new EAS route will be, oh boy, I think Lincoln, Nebraska is going to be the place we're going with today. So this guy's heading out to Lincoln, Nebraska, on the new EAS service. Very nice. Alrighty, welcome over to Terminal B. We will begin with the North Pier, which is this one, of course. The terminal was constructed in 2010. It's been going very well. They have finished the United Polaris Lounge in the South Pier, which is really nice. And yeah, they've been utilizing it really well. So we'll talk about some enhancements over there when we get there. But we'll start down there with B1, as we currently have the Delta Connection Embraer ERJ-170. This guy's currently coming in from Syracuse, New York. And we'll have a continuing flight today out to Austin, Texas. The CRJ-700 is currently loading up with a nonstop flight today out to Omaha, Nebraska. This guy came in earlier today from Denver. The Boeing 757-200 is currently making the nonstop service today in from Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport with a continuing service out to Las Vegas. Very nice. Really nice aircraft. The 737-800 is currently making the nonstop service today in from, Kalispell, Montana. It will have continuing service today out to, let's go with Boston. Then we have the various CRJs you're going to find right here. The 2700s are for Endeavor. The left side aircraft is coming in from Providence and will continue out to, excuse me, I apologize, out of breath. Northwest Arkansas, and then the middle aircraft is currently coming in from Tulsa. We'll have a continuing flight today out to Birmingham, Alabama, and then the CRJ-200 currently pulling into the gate is making a service in from Grand Rapids. It will have a continuing flight today over to Madison, Wisconsin, which is another new service. So Delta definitely enhancing their market. They're also going to be enhancing it with this Airbus A220, as this guy's currently making the nonstop service in from Charlotte, which is now seeing the A220. Very impressive. This guy's going to have a continuing service today over to Jacksonville. The Delta Airbus A320 is currently making the nonstop service today in from New York, LaGuardia. This guy is going to be heading out following that to Tampa. There we go. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to miss an aircraft. I was just trying to figure out which one we were on. Delta has brought back a Northwest retro livery with their final aircraft. This is the Airbus A319, and this guy's currently making a nonstop service today in from Detroit, and will continue out to Minneapolis. Really glad to have the Airbus A319 finally featured in an update. I'm not sure when I'll be able to feature this model more often outside of Great Plains, but I hope to get to use it more often. So really pretty plane by Aero Classics. They did an exceptional job in my opinion. That's really nice. Turned out very good. The Delta Airlines 767-300 is currently making the nonstop service. Came in from Paris Charles de Gaulle earlier. Really long flight for 767. He's going to have a continuing flight out to Portland, Oregon here in a little bit. The Delta Airlines Airbus A220-300 made a nonstop service in from Phoenix Sky Harbor earlier today. He's continuing out to New York John F. Kennedy. This Boeing 757-200 just made a service in from Fort Lauderdale, and he's going to be making quite an obscure flight with service out to, I had it on the tip of my tongue and I lost it, Chicago O'Hare, which is quite an interesting flight for 757, so perhaps attacking Americans' market share on that one, and United as well, but they work together, so that's a little different. The Delta Airlines Airbus A319 is currently loading up with a nonstop service today out to Raleigh-Durham. This guy's going to have a continuing flight today over to the, lost it again, I apologize. Super sorry, guys. West Palm Beach, that was what I was looking for. Service out to West Palm Beach. The Delta Airlines Airbus A220-100 is currently taxiing again after a nonstop service from Boston. This guy's going to have a continuing flight today over to Houston Intercontinental. The Delta Airlines 717 is currently loading up with a nonstop flight today out to Atlanta too. This guy came in earlier today on a service from Denver. And the SkyTeam Boeing 757-200 is currently pushing back with a nonstop service today out to New York John F. Kennedy. This guy came in earlier from Miami. And then lastly, we have the two CRJ aircraft. Both are Endeavor. The 200 is currently making the nonstop service in from Traverse City and will continue out to, let's say that they have a new service today to Knoxville, and then the CRJ 900 is currently making a nonstop flight in from Nashville. This guy's going to have a continuing service today over to Syracuse, New York. Very nice. So Syracuse getting a lot of attention there from the various carriers. Very nice. I'll pan over to the other side so we have some better views. So let's do it. But first, I'd like to show you guys this beautiful Concourse A lineup. This has been renamed the Satellite Concourse to the Concourse A Satellite Castella Terminal. Very interesting name pick right there, but really cool to get to see that. So very nice to get to see that. So I'll paint it over live since I already kind of started. So yeah, some beautiful lineups today. How about the views, man? This has been really nice to see. United's Pier has been going very low. Like I said, they have now added the new extension to the Polaris Lounge. So I'm really happy about that for United. I think they're doing a great job. Beginning on the top side there, Boeing 737-900 is currently coming in from San Diego. He has a continuing service up to Washington Dulles. Their Boeing 787-9, really cool to get that second jet bridge represented. So obviously that first one down there is meant for that narrow body gate, and likewise for this gate right there. But nevertheless, they are combining to make this heavy hybrid gate. This guy's currently loading up fully. This guy has nonstop service today out to Denver. This guy came in earlier from Newark. The 737 MAX 8 is currently coming in from Las Vegas. He'll continue today out to Miami. Empty gate right there, where this United Airlines 737-800 just pulled out of. This guy currently has a nonstop service today out to Portland. This guy came in earlier from New Orleans. The Stars and Bars Airbus A320 is currently making the nonstop flight today in from Tucson. This guy, that's a big aircraft for Tucson. Lots of demand for Tucson, I guess, in September. How about that? This guy's going to have a continuing flight today out to, sorry guys, Atlanta. That was what it was. Working together a little bit. How about that? Here is the regional jet lineup. We'll begin with the CRJ200. This guy's currently making a service today in from Springfield, Missouri too, and he's going to have a continuing flight today out to, let's say he's heading out to Waco, Texas. Sorry guys, I'm trying to put gates up over here and it's failing miserably, I'm sorry. The next CRJ-200 is currently making the nonstop service in from Tulsa, and this guy's going to have a continuing flight over to, let's go with, I had something, but I was trying to think. I got in between thoughts on that. I apologize. We'll say Omaha. I probably should have put a main line there, but all good. CRJ-550 is currently coming in from Detroit and will continue out to Minneapolis. CRJ-200, I'll try to have some more EAS routes for next update. I didn't realize how lackluster my RJ knowledge would be, despite seeing quite a few of them. Anyways, the middle CRJ-200 is currently coming in from Oklahoma City, and we'll have a continuing flight today over to Shreveport, Louisiana. Then that CRJ-700 in the back is currently loading up for, we'll say this guy's heading out to Las Vegas. There we go. This guy came in earlier from Aspen. The Embraer J-145 is currently loading up with service today over to the Grand Junction area, turnaround service, ironically. And then that Embraer, we have 3 Embraer 175s. The current are 2 175s and a 170. The 175 on the top is coming in from, excuse me guys, I apologize, New Orleans, and we'll have a continuing flight today out to, I'm sorry guys, kind of losing geography here, Jacksonville. The middle one is currently coming in from Myrtle Beach, and we'll have a continuing flight, excuse me guys, out to, I'm sorry guys, I ran completely out of gas when it came to regional services. Let's go Providence. And then the final one, which is the first time I'm going to use that E Plus E170. That's a really cool model. This guy's currently coming in from Cleveland, and will continue out to Boston. Very nice. And then of course, you guys saw the 777 there in the previous update. Now we have the 3 757 gates. There we go. I was trying to get the clearer zoom. So we have the Starline 737-700. This guy's currently coming in from Austin, and will continue over to Houston. The 757-300 is currently coming in from San Francisco and will continue today out to Seattle. And the 757-200 is currently coming in from Las Vegas, and he'll be heading out to Honolulu, which is another really cool service. So Max and the 757 doing that. And then for this frame, you have the Blue Tulip Airbus A320. Beautiful airplane. This guy's currently taxiing in from Denver. He'll have a continuing flight today over to New York John F. Kennedy. The Boeing 737-800 is currently coming in from Newark, in that area as well. We'll have a continuing flight out to Norfolk. Really cool 737-800. The Starline 737-800 is currently coming in from San Diego, and he's going to have a continuing flight over to, I'll get a little bit more zoom. That's the max zoom. Looks pretty good, honestly, though. But nevertheless, let's say this guy's coming in from Washington Reagan. And then the beautiful Battleship Gray 737-300 is currently making the nonstop flight today in from Fort Lauderdale. He's going to have a continuing flight today over to Fort Myers. So really nice lineup of aircraft right there at Terminal B. Very nice. Speaking of which, it's time to now transition into the Castella Terminal here at Terminal A. So here we go. We'll begin with this frame, as we had some really nice aircraft over there. Currently pulling into Alpha 1. You're going to find the Honoring Those Who Serve Alaska Embraer J-175 on the behalf of Horizon Air. This guy's currently coming in from Spokane, which is a new flight. Really long one, but a nice one. And he's going to continue out to San Francisco. Very nice. The Airbus A321neo is currently coming in from Portland, and will have a continuing flight over to Seattle. And the One World 737-800 is ironically, funnily enough, actually coming in from Seattle. He's going to have a continuing flight out to Orlando, MCO. American Airlines is also throwing it back with a TWA retro aircraft in their final livery on the Boeing 757. This aircraft is currently making the nonstop service, ironically, in from St. Louis. He's going to have a continuing service out to New York John F. Kennedy. Yes, that was intentional. I just could not help it, because TWA is an awesome airline, and really happy to have a model with them. This American Airlines 757-200 is currently making the nonstop service in from Miami, and he'll have a continuing flight over to, this guy's actually going to be doing an international service here from the international gates in a couple moments. This guy has a nonstop service over to Rome. Long flight, but a good one. The Airbus A321, this is probably A11 or so. This guy's currently making the nonstop flight today in from Las Vegas, and we'll have a continuing flight today over to Austin, Texas. Sorry guys, the headphone wire kind of gets the better of me when I put the camera up like this, but hey, we're making it work. I accidentally missed this Chrome 737-800. This guy currently has a nonstop service today. He came in on a maintenance flight, ironically, from Tulsa. He's going to have a continuing service today over to, let's go with Houston and Continental for him. Very nice. The 737 MAX is currently coming in from, sorry, I had the low power mode, of course. This guy's coming in from New York LaGuardia on the turnaround. Very nice. Those really haven't expanded much yet, but expect a lot of expansion to come there. This Reno Air 737-700 is currently making the nonstop service today in from, not going to be Reno, Tahoe for them. This guy's coming in from Los Angeles and will continue over to Boston. The stunning Astrojet 727 is currently pushing back with a nonstop service today out to Dallas-Fort Worth. This guy came in earlier today from Chicago, so keeping it with the hubs on the 727. Their Boeing 757 in the flagship Freedom livery is currently coming in from, sorry guys, I lost it, Los Angeles, and will be continuing over to Charlotte. The Airbus A319 is currently coming in from Cancun. It'll have a continuing flight today over to, I think that, yeah, we'll send them to Durango, Mexico, because, yes, new route, very cool one. The American Airlines 767-200, super glad to have this in here. This guy came in from New York John Kennedy and will be continuing out to San Francisco. What a cool model to get to use today, my goodness. Very, very nice. The Airbus A321neo is actually not going to be coming in from Anchorage. This guy's actually coming in from Fairbanks, changing it up quite a bit. Nice seasonal route right there. This guy's going to have a continuing service today over to, let's say Orlando. The stunning 747SP is currently making the nonstop service today in from Tokyo, Narita, and he's going to be heading out to Dallas-Fort Worth on a reposition. This 757-200 in the Jet flagship colors is currently making a nonstop service. This is also a new retro livery as well. Service in from Miami. This guy's continuing over to Denver. MD-80s, we got this first one looking stunning. This guy's currently coming in from San Antonio, Texas, and continuing over to, let's go with Omaha. I was trying to think of some bigger cities in that western region, but kind of lost some. Let's say it's this MD-80s currently coming in from Nashville. It'll have a continuing flight today out to, Fort Myers. Lots of competition in Florida, as you guys can see. This 737-800 will not be going to Florida. This guy's currently heading out to Raleigh-Durham. This guy came in earlier today from, see, I get to Northeast, and there's like not as many places that would have mainline, but I think that Buffalo, New York will be a good place for that 737. So that is where he's heading on a upgraded service from Eagle. This Airbus A321 is currently coming in from Philadelphia in the U.S. Airways Heritage Paint Scheme because, yes, and that's actually just going to be a turnaround. And the 737-800 is currently coming in from, excuse me, guys, I apologize. We'll say this guy's coming in from Phoenix, and we'll be continuing out to, I was trying to think of anything different. I do think that Fresno is deserving of a mainline upgrade, so there it is right there for that flight. American Airlines' heavy lineup continues to go very well as this Airbus A330-300 just made a nonstop flight today in from, I'm trying to think of some different routes. I want to change it up a little bit, trying to think of some good ones. So let's say this Airbus A330-300 is currently, he will be coming in from Rome, but I think that we'll send him out to Madrid. I think that's a solid service for Americans. So there we go. The Boeing 787-8 is currently coming in from London Heathrow, ironically, today. Going to have a continuing flight today over to Las Vegas here in a little bit. And the breast cancer awareness Boeing 777-200ER is currently making the nonstop service today in from, trying to think, let's make sure I don't miss some. Athens. Let's go with Athens. And this guy's going to be coming in today from, or heading out, to, I apologize, guys. I need to get the international routes wrote down and some cool ones. Let's go with, I'm so sorry, guys. I don't want to do Helsinki again. I want to change it up. This has been a disaster, to say the least. I think after a thorough assessment, Rio de Janeiro in South America, Brazil, will finally be the place that we send them because, yes, very nice. Okay, over to the Landside Terminal. Here we have to begin, I'm going to sneeze, or I'll just... Alrighty, everybody, so unfortunately the video recording cut out, and then I was trying to get the other footage, but unfortunately at some point during the summer when I was doing all my hard drive renovation stuff, it unfortunately got lost, so I sincerely apologize about that. But there was 10 more American Eagle aircraft going out to some smaller cities around the Kansas City area, of course, and then the cargo aircraft, so I sincerely apologize about that, but nevertheless, still a very good update. And yeah, just imagine that they were going out to all the places that you'd see, like a Dallas or Chicago, for instance. So again, I sincerely apologize about that. Sometimes with all these video files and pre-recording
and all that. It gets super hard to keep it all organized. But nevertheless, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's update. And again, super sorry that I cut out there at the very end, but it was still a really good update, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Super fun one to do, and I'm really excited for the next one. So since I don't have a clip that did the outro that is saved, unfortunately, we'll do the outro right here. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe, trust the process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.